The Galactic Council had classified humans as minimally threatening upon first contact. Their ships were slow, their weapons primitive, and their bodies fragile. They lacked natural armor, possessed no claws or fangs, and their physical strength was laughable compared to most spacefaring species. The classification stuck for nearly a decade as humans quietly integrated into galactic society, trading resources and technology, while keeping mostly to themselves. Commander Trill of the Viridian Hegemony found them peculiar, but harmless. Her species, with their 4 powerful limbs and thick chitinous exoskeletons, had conquered 12 systems before joining the Council. Humans had barely colonized their own moon. Today, however, Trill was reassessing everything she thought she knew about humans. Her ship had responded to a distress signal from a human transport vessel under attack by Krell raiders. The Krell, massive reptilian pirates with a fearsome reputation, had already boarded when her battlecruiser arrived. "We're too late," her tactical officer reported. "The Krell boarding party is inside, 20 warriors at least." Trill mandibles clicked in frustration. "Prepare a rescue team. We'll recover what bodies we can for their families." Commander, her communications officer, interrupted. "I'm receiving a transmission from the human vessel." Trill's compound eyes blinked in surprise. "Put it through." A human male appeared on screen. His uniform was torn and bloodied, but his demeanor remained calm. "This is Lieutenant Jack Wilson of the Earth Marine Corps. Thanks for responding to our distress call." "Lieutenant," Trill responded carefully, "our scans show Krell boarding parties throughout your vessel. What is your status?" The human smiled. It was an expression Trill had learned to recognize but never fully understood. This particular smile seemed wrong somehow. "The situation is under control. We've neutralized 16 Krell. 4 remaining hostiles are contained in the cargo bay." Silence fell across Trill's bridge. Her entire crew stared at the transmission in disbelief. "You defeated 16 Krell warriors?" Trill finally managed. "With what weapons?" "Standard issue equipment, ma'am," the human replied. "And improvisation." The Viridian commander struggled to comprehend this. Krell were apex predators, standing 3 meters tall with natural armor that could deflect most handheld weapons. Each one was worth 10 soldiers of most species. "Lieutenant Wilson," she said carefully, "we'll dock and provide medical assistance." "Appreciated, Commander. Fair warning, though. It's not pretty in here." When Trill's security team boarded the human vessel, they found scenes that defied comprehension. Krell warriors, feared throughout the galaxy, lay defeated in corridors and compartments. Some had been shot with primitive projectile weapons, but others showed evidence of more creative tactics. In the ship's mess hall, they found a human, female tending to wounded crew members. Her name badge read Dr. Reynolds. "How did you survive this?" Trill asked. The doctor glanced up. "The Marines handled the fighting. I'm just patching up the aftermath." "But Krell are big, tough, scary." "Yes, we know." Dr. Reynolds sighed. Lieutenant Wilson warned them. They didn't listen. They found Wilson in the cargo bay guarding 4 bound Krell. The massive aliens were uncharacteristically subdued, huddled together and visibly trembling. Trill had never seen Krell display fear before. "What did you do to them?" she asked. Wilson shrugged. "Showed them humans aren't as weak as everyone thinks." One of the Krell snarled. "Your kind fights without honor. You do not face enemies directly." Wilson's expression hardened. "Says the pirate who attacks civilian transports." He turned to Trill. "They expected us to fight like everyone else in the galaxy. Stand up, exchange fire, measure strength against strength. That is how combat works," Trill stated, confused. "Not for humans." Wilson leaned against a cargo container. "Throughout our history, we've had rules for warfare, what some call warfare crimes. Things you're not supposed to do because they're considered too brutal or dishonorable." "As is proper," Trill agreed. "The thing is," Wilson continued, "those rules only work when both sides follow them. These Krell targeted a civilian transport. They killed 3 of our people before we could respond." His voice remained even. But Trill sensed something dangerous beneath it. "So you committed warfare crimes?" she asked hesitantly. "No. We defended ourselves using every advantage available. Humans don't have natural armor or superior strength. What we have is creativity and determination." Later, as Trill reviewed the security footage, she understood. The humans hadn't fought like warriors, they'd fought like survivors. They'd used the ship's environment against the Krell, venting compartments, creating traps, using maintenance tools as weapons. They'd coordinated with terrifying efficiency, communicating through hand signals and executing complex ambushes. Most disturbing was Wilson himself. The footage showed him explaining to a captured Krell leader exactly what humans historically considered warfare crimes. Not because he had committed them, but because he wanted the alien to understand how restrained their response had been. "We could have done worse," he had said quietly. "Remember that." The Galactic Council convened an emergency session after receiving Trill's report. Human representatives were summoned to explain. "You've misclassified our species," the human ambassador stated simply. "We're not minimally threatening. We're minimally threatening until threatened." The council chambers erupted in debate. Meanwhile, Trill found herself recalling something Wilson had told her before they departed. "The galaxy thinks we're harmless because we're physically weaker, technologically behind, and generally friendly. That's a fundamental misunderstanding of humans. We don't need to be the strongest to be dangerous, we just need to be cornered." The Krell never raided another human vessel. The Galactic Council reclassified humans as approach with caution, and Commander Trill began studying human history, increasingly disturbed by what she found.